What's up guys and girls, welcome to another video. Now I realise that I have never actually shown you my bike and the upgrades that I've done to my bike, so in this video I am going to do just that. Now I bought my Giant Defy Advanced one in 2018, I believe it was. It is a 2016 model. When it came out it was $2,600, which is £1,688. I got it for $850 on eBay. I've done a lot to it, it's lasted me well, so let's have a look. So let's start at the front. Now we have Ultegra levers, we have Ultegra group set throughout, which has been brilliant. I'll talk about that a little bit later. For bars, we have the Ritchie WCS Evo Curve handlebars, and they are 40 centimeters wide. Now this was one of the upgrades. It came with 42 centimeter standard Giant bars, and I got them slightly narrower to match my shoulder width, which was a great move. I much prefer them narrower, and I would definitely recommend maybe even go 38s. I'd like to try 38s at some point. Now for the bar tape, I have Prime Comfort bar tape. I have done a full review on this bar tape. I use it, some of my friends use it as well. It's really good, it's really grippy. It's noticeable from the bar tape that I had before, which was more of a comfort. It's this sort of fake sort of leather material that this Prime Comfort bar tape has. Is really, really good in the wet and dry. I will leave that video down in the description below so you can check that one out. Now I also wanted to mention that I have Jaguar cables. So these are brake cables, front and rear. And these actually made a much bigger difference to the braking power than the standard braking cables. I don't know why. I think it's because it's the outer, doesn't bend. So when you have routed cables through your frame, what can happen is you can easily get like a kink. So if it's going in there through the frame, that's a point where the cable can actually bend. Like when you bend a hose, right, and the water doesn't come out, a similar thing. Whereas Jaguars don't allow that to happen. Now when I changed my brake cables before, I went for the standard cheap ones and it made a difference to the braking. So when I upgraded again, I went for the Jaguars. So I wanted to point that out because it's something I noticed when doing the mechanics on my bike. Now at the front I have the K-Edge mount. This was from eBay as well. It's super strong, super nice to have a metal mount over a plastic mount. Not really a necessity, but just something I've tried. I'm actually going to do a video on lots of different mounts and which one's best because I've got quite a few now. I've managed to accumulate quite a lot. Now attached to that mount I have a Garmin 800 cycle computer or the Miles GPS. I've done a video on the Miles GPS, not the Garmin 800. But the Garmin 800, fantastic, big screen, great for navigation, can see the map nice and clearly. I would highly recommend it. Again, I got that on eBay, that was another bargain. There's a running team here, peeps, buying stuff on eBay to save money because cycling is expensive. Now the stem, I have a Zip Service Course SL stem. Now this was an upgrade, this isn't standard. And to be honest, at the time I didn't really like the look of the Giant stem, the Giant Connect stem. It was just very basic. I wanted something a bit more sleek, something that matched the bike, so I kind of went for this. It's lighter as well. If you're a weight weenie, I mean, it doesn't make that much difference. I really liked it as well. It was when I just started cycling, or I bought the bike and I wanted to get something just to start tinkering and upgrading. I think I'd done the bars at the same time, so it was like one big change. Yeah, it kind of changed the cockpit, which is really, really nice, but that's been great as well, no issues there. Now let's move backwards to the saddle. Now this is a Sella Italia saddle. It did actually come with the bike, but it's not a standard saddle. There is a standard Giant saddle. This saddle's been pretty good for me, to be honest. When it has the hole in the middle of the saddle, it allows it to flex, allows it to move around, which makes it much more comfy in my opinion. I've tried other saddles and they're much more rigid. You have to get a perfect fit, I think, with one that is rigid or doesn't have a gap in the middle, whereas with a gap in the middle, a little bit more forgiving and will move about. Yeah, do try different saddles if you haven't already and you are in discomfort. Now, the drive chain is full Ultegra and it's been brilliant. Really nice gear changing, it's nice and smooth, it's never failed on me. And this is actually the second lot of Ultegra that I have. I've completely upgraded everything. I've done about 7,000 miles on the old drive chain, and stuff needed to be replaced. And as we all know, you need to replace everything when you do that upgrade so that it can all wear together again. So yeah, Ultegra 50-34 front chain rings and a 32-11 cassette at the back. Now I have the Shimano carbon Ultegra pedals as well. They do what they say on the tin. Again, I got these for a good deal on eBay. They're very, very light, and I've never had an issue with them in about 18 months. They've been brilliant pedals. So they still have that nice lock-in feeling. They've not worn, so I'd recommend those as well. They are quite expensive for what they are, but they're not a bad pedal whatsoever. Now for the wheels, we have the Giant PR2 wheels. These come as default on the bike, and to be honest, I've done thousands of miles on these wheels. Last year alone, in 2020, I've done 6,500 miles. So they've taken a hit, I've commuted on them, and they're still going strong. They are still true, which is kind of crazy really. I thought that something may go wrong with them and I have to replace them, but they've honestly been really, really good. Now I am part of the disc brake world with this bike, and I've got TRP Sphere disc brakes. I replace the pads every few months. I do go through pads quite a bit, to be honest. I get semi-metallic normally, which is a mixture of like a resin and actual flakes of metal, I believe. And they've been great in the wet and the dry. So that is the bike. I can't believe that I've never actually explained to you guys and girls what bike I have and the upgrades and what I'm riding and why I like those upgrades. Stuff that I would like to do, the upgrades I would like to make, well, the biggest one is the wheels. I would like to upgrade the wheels. Although these have been really good and bulletproof, I'd like to have a nice set of wheels that I can use maybe going to the track, some deeper section aeros, maybe some 50s or 40s around that sort of size. I would like a power meter. I have a turbo trainer now, so I can train with power inside, but I would like to see my numbers outside as well. So that would probably be secondary after the wheel, but not sort of on the radar too much. Probably the most likely to happen sometime soon is 28mm tyres. I would like to go a bit wider, reduce the pressures, get a bit more comfort. I do want that to be tubeless though. My wheels aren't tubeless compatible, so it'd likely be wheels and new tyres at the same time, and then go tubeless, so I can compare tubeless, because we hear good things. And in my previous video about tyre pressure, you can run a lot lower pressures with tubeless, and then a 28mm tyre as well, that can run lower, so it'll be good all round. So they are the upgrades that I would like to make to my bike next. To be honest, I cannot fault it. It has been really, really good. It is an endurance style bike, so it's far less aggressive than like a race bike, than say like a Venge or a System 6 and those sort of bikes. It's designed to be ridden a lot all day and be comfortable. And for your average cyclist, it is not a bad bike whatsoever. Comment down below any questions you have, anything you would like to know, any comments or questions on bikes. Obviously, I'm more than happy to discuss. I pretty much look all the time. So thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, as always, it's much appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And until the next one, fine people, self-love and safe riding.